What a game. Where do I even start? Sunderland were pretty freaking good today. I have to admit, Sunderland were pretty good today, and there's a reason why they're third in the Premier League right now because they have built such a fierce and aggressive squad that I think anyone that comes to the Stadium of Light, they're gonna have problems. And Arsenal had problems today. They struggled. We really, really did. We did. I mean, we ended up conceding the first goal and then ended up coming back 2-2 and sorry 2-1, and then in the last couple of minutes of the game, Sunderland nicked one back and the game ended in a tie. And if you guys didn't watch the game, go and watch the highlights because it was probably one of my favorite games that I've seen recently. It had everything. It was fierce, it was aggressive, it was tactical. It was such a high pressure game from minute 1 all the way through to minute 90 plus additional time. It was a good game of football. A really good game if you're a mutual fan, but obviously not so much if you're an Arsenal fan. Losing 3 points, I mean, gaining a point is never bad, but dropping 2 points in the last couple of minutes of the game where you clearly had the better chances, you clearly dominated most of the second half, and it's just it's a tough one to take. It really is because now it allows teams like Liverpool and Man City, and obviously Sunderland, who are fighting for a top four spot as well, to catch up and gain some momentum on Arsenal. But I want to talk about the Sunderland team like real quick, and then we'll move on to Arsenal. But I think some of the Sunderland players, like you got to give them credit because they're very well organized, they're very well structured, they're aggressive in the right places, not too aggressive where they're giving away silly free kicks in dangerous areas, but they did pretty well. And you can see here from like the sort of the momentum chart that in the first couple of minutes, I mean, it was all Arsenal and they were just hitting the low block. They basically penned back their guys in their own half, and they were just not allowing Arsenal to get through. And we were struggling. We were struggling to find some creativity. I don't think Eze was great really in the first half. I don't think Trossard was that good in the first half. In the second half, he was a completely different player. But I just don't think we were. I don't think Saka was good in the first half. I don't think we were creating anything. And they punished us. They ended up getting the first goal, which was from Ballard, who I thought was one of the best players actually out there on the field today. He scored in the 36th minute, thumping goal in the back of the net. And again, you just got to give him credit because he was in the right place at the right time, and we got punished. And I think that's the first goal Arsenal have conceded in 13 hours of football playing time. So you have to give credit to Sunderland. A couple of other players that I'm a big fan of. Obviously Granit Xhaka, former Arsenal player. He played probably the best game of football I've ever seen him play. I don't think he ever played that good for Arsenal ever, but he was everywhere today. He was helping his team defend, helping attack. He was winning challenges. He was just a pain in the ass to play against. And Granit Xhaka, to me, I mean, love the guy. Loved him when he was at Arsenal, and I still love watching him play. So credit to Granit Xhaka. But a player that I'm really impressed with, who ended up doing very well when he did come on, was this guy here, Ndingra, and he is such a promising young player. He is electric. He's direct. Every time he got the ball today, he just wanted to attack our fullbacks, wanted to attack them every single time. And we kind of struggled when he came on today. I mean, he only played 26 minutes. But for those 26 minutes that he played, he was just a threat down that sort of left-hand side. So again, credit to Adingra. They have some good players. I'm a big fan of Ballard. I think Ballard is a fantastic player as well. Again, a young player, 26 years old. He got a goal at one end, and then he saved Sunderland from conceding in the last minute of the game. And I think it was Marino that had a shot, and he just threw his body out there, and he was fantastic again today. I thought the goalkeeper had a pretty good game. Traore, not so. I mean, they've given him a 6.2 rating. I think this guy here is a fantastic player for Sunderland as well. Mukiele, if I'm saying his name right. But again, they have some good players, Sunderland, and they're in a Champions League spot for that reason. They're really well structured, really well organized, and just aggressive. And going to their stadium, the Stadium of Light, is never an easy task. But we take a look at the Arsenal team. I don't know. I just don't think I think from the seconds that that first whistle went, we just weren't ready to play. And clearly, if you watched the game live, the second half we were so much better. I don't know what Arteta said to them at halftime, but second half we came out, we were more organized, we were quicker on the ball, we were moving off the ball a lot better. Our passing was more accurate, it was more fierce, we were more direct, and something happened the second half. And I don't think our backline necessarily had a bad game. I think David Raya, we'll start with David Raya because he pulled off some incredible saves. One of them was offside. It was a cross that came in. I think it came off one of the Arsenal players, but he had to react quickly because it was a Sunderland player ready to pounce, and he reacted and then he pushed the ball away and then it came back to be offside, but David Raya didn't know that. So he has been, in my opinion, the best goalkeeper in the Premier League this season. But that last goal, when Sunderland scored the 92nd, 93rd, what was it? It was 94th. When they scored the 94th minute equalizer, I put my hands on my head and I'm like, David Raya, what are you doing? Just stay on your line. If he stayed on his line, he would have saved that. Because Gabriel was going in, he was putting pressure on the attacker, and the ball basically just went down the middle. And because David Raya committed to come out and either punch it or catch it, it was basically it was an incredible goal. It was an acrobatic goal that if he stayed on his line, David Raya would have saved it. So I don't know. I mean, as great as David Raya has been, I mean, 2 points dropped today, and I don't want to say it was necessarily his fault, but it could have been prevented. I thought Timber had a pretty good game. Saliba, Gabriel, solid as usual. I don't really think they did anything wrong, really. They just have sort of 6 ratings because, Sunderland scored 2 goals. I think Calafiori kind of struggled a little bit. He was getting a little bit bullied. He wasn't necessarily the player that we all know and love, but again, going to the stadium with the sort of pressure that you are going in there, trying to keep momentum, trying to get your points, trying to, not make a mistake. I think he kind of was the player that struggled the most, in my opinion, today. I thought Zubimeni was fantastic. I thought he was very, very good, very agile, very clean on the ball, very, very precise with his passing. And he hit the crossbar as well, which, again, he was so unlucky not to add. I think we were 2-1 up. 1-1 at the time. We were 1-1 at the time. So that would have obviously put us up 2-1 as well. But Zubimeni had a fantastic game. I thought Declan Rice had a good game. I don't think a 6.9 rating is fair. I was watching him in the last 10-15 minutes of the game when we were 2-1 up. The guy does not stop running. He is just this powerful horse that just gallops across the field effortlessly. And I was watching him and he gives everything from the minute that whistle goes at the start of the game to the minute the whistle goes at the end of the game. He just gives 110% every single game. And I love Declan Rice. To me, I think he's such an important player for this team, and he is honestly fantastic when he is at his best, when he's on the ball, when he's driving forwards. And I think Mikel Arteta has done a fantastic job converting him into that sort of number 8, where he's able to turn defense into attack. I thought Leandro Trossard had the best second half that I've seen him have all season. I thought Leandro Trossard came on. I don't think he did too much wrong in the first half. I just don't think he was as impactful. But second half, he obviously got the second goal, which was an absolute screamer. But I think Trossard, second half, something changed. Mikel Arteta said something to the boys in the halftime dressing room, and he was just incredible. Some of the passes that he was making, some of the through balls that he was playing to create a chance for Arsenal when we needed it, he came through, and his goal was, take a bow. Leandro Trossard, honestly, take a bow, because that goal was absolutely incredible. Eze, again, I don't necessarily think he was that impactful. You can tell we miss Odegaard in that sort of creative attacking midfielder role, and I love Eze. I think Eze is a fantastic player. I just think with Odegaard being out with injuries at the moment, I think Eze needs to step up and do a little bit more. I think he needs to be a bit more creative. He had a couple of chances today, which, on another day it could have gone in, but today I don't think it worked out too well for him. Bukayo Saka, they've given him man of the match rating, and I don't know if I agree. He was again, great. He took his goal very, very well. The ball comes through. I think Mikel Merino slips it into him and he takes it on his left foot and then finishes it in the bottom corner on his right foot. So he took his goal very, very well. He had a couple of chances that obviously on another day he could have converted, where they've given him an 8.3 rating, and he was the one that brought us back into the game. His first goal gave us so much momentum to go on a push for the second, and then just keep that momentum going throughout the rest of the game. And Mikel Merino, I mean, look, for a guy who's not a striker, Mikel Merino is a very good footballer. He is very good at holding the ball up. He's very good at linking plays together. I just think on a day like today, we missed an out-and-out striker. We missed a Kai Havertz. We missed a Gyökeres. And just having that sort of physical, natural attacker in our lineup today would have probably been the difference of Arsenal tying the game and Arsenal winning the game. And I give credit to Merino. He's done a fantastic job stepping in for Gyökeres. But we missed the striker today. We really, really did. And talking of like sort of our players that are missing, I'm just going to read out like how many first team players we do have missing through injury, who hopefully over the next couple of weeks, I think Mikel Arteta said after the international break, we are going to start to see some of these players back. And it's crazy that some of these players have been out for so long, because it's our squad depth right now compared to 2 years ago, last year, is incredible. So Gabriel Jesus, I forget that sometimes he's still an Arsenal player. He has been out for 10 months with an ACL injury. And I've seen this week that he's been training again with the Arsenal first team boys. And it's going to be so good to have him back, just to be that sort of striker that gives us a little bit more than Gyökeres and Havertz. Like, he's obviously a lot more of a link-up striker instead of a more of a target man. And I think having Gabriel Jesus back, which should be, Mikel Arteta said, within the next couple of weeks, which would be fantastic, will be a big difference, because he can play anywhere up front. He can play in the left wing, striker, or right wing position. But 10 months out, it's going to be good to have him back. Noni Madueke, been missing for 12 games now, which again is crazy to me. I mean, thankfully we have had Madueke come in, because he has stepped in for Saka when he has been injured. Now that Saka's back, it's unfortunate that Madueke's been injured, but I'm excited to have him back as well. But he's missed 12 games of football. Martin Odegaard, probably our most influential player. He's missed 8 games of football. Gabriel Martinelli has now missed 3 games. William Saliba this season has missed 2 games. And obviously Gyökeres, who didn't play today, that was his second game now he missed due to an injury that he picked up last week. So I think we have... Our next game is going to be against Tottenham. So we have the North London derby coming up next week, which I'm excited about. But it's going to be very, very exciting to have these players back. So we have... Yeah, so Tottenham... I don't know if you guys can see it because of my cam, but we have Tottenham next Sunday in the Premier League, and then we're at home to Bayern Munich in the Champions League, and then we have Chelsea away, then Brentford away, and then Aston Villa. So our next 5 fixtures are pretty freaking tough, which again, it's if you wanna compete with the best, you got to beat the best. So it's going to be a very fun and interesting next couple of weeks. I'm just excited to see our Arsenal boys back. I thought Arsenal did pretty well today. It just really, really bums me out that we didn't get the 3 points. I think we deserved it, but you also have to give credit where it's due. And Sunderland played a very good game of football. They brought it to Arsenal. Like I said, they were aggressive, they were fierce, they were strong, they were very well organized. So the credit to Sunderland. They're sitting third right now in the Premier League. Arsenal is still first. We have 4 wins and then obviously a draw today. Man City are playing Liverpool next, so it's going to be good. Hopefully one of those 2 teams, as of right now, Man City is second, Sunderland third, Tottenham fourth, and then Chelsea, Liverpool are sort of chasing them behind. So the Man City Liverpool game is going to be a good game. It's going to be a great game of football to watch. But I mean, hopefully you don't expect. Hopefully you would want both teams to drop points, but you know that's the Premier League for you. You never know what's going to happen. All right, you guys. Well, apart from that, like I said, if you guys are enjoying the content and you guys do want to see more videos like this, do me a favor, guys. No pressure at all, but drop a like, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. I'm obviously got myself some personal goals that I want to reach, and if you guys can do that for me, it means the world to me. Otherwise, much love, you guys. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.